Morning, everybody. Well, here we are, Tornado Thursday, it looks like. Days that end or start with T seem to also correspond to our tornadoes lately, so that's kind of interesting. So I want to spend some time today. We're not going to cover any new material today. As you can see in the syllabus, it was in-class group work, and that group work is going to be, or in-class work, I should say, is going to be to get you ready for this exam redo option. I want to tell you all a little story. The first test I took in organic chemistry, I didn't do so hot on it. Organic chemistry requires a different set of study skills, and no matter how much I sit up here and talk about it, most people don't believe me till they take the first exam. So what I always do is I give people at the first exam an opportunity for a redo to get half of their missed credit back. Okay, so what does that mean? The exam was worth 100 points, right? Now we did have a bonus question, but the bonus doesn't count here, right? And let's suppose you made a 60 on the exam. Now I do have an expanded grading scale, so you passed the exam, right? You didn't fail it. But it's probably not where you wanted to be, right? So that means we have a difference of 40 points. So you can get up to 20 points back on this exam redo option. That means that I'll take your 60, I'll add 20 to it. That will then give you an 80, which is a B, right? So you get a good solid B grade through the exam redo option, okay? So this is a one-time opportunity for you all to get some points back and be on a better footing. Having said all of that, there are strict requirements for the exam redo option. There is no flexibility. Why is that? It's because organic chemistry is a rules-heavy discipline. I want to know that you can follow the rules explicitly, right? Naming is a rules-heavy thing. Reaction mechanisms are a rules-heavy kind of thing. So let's go through the exam redo option requirements. And so this is what I sent to you all by email, but we're going to go through it all. Organic chemistry requires a unique set of study skills, and it takes time to develop these skills adequately. I did not expect a better performance than what I saw. In fact, you all as a class did a little better than I thought you would do as a class. So I'm pretty happy with that. Okay? I know individually some of you aren't happy with where you're at, but that's okay. That's okay. I believe that higher education in general, is about creating a safe space to make mistakes and learn. Some classes, all they do is measure your performance. That's not learning. You can come in already knowing everything. I'm interested in learning. Where are you at and where are you going to be when you leave, right? That's learning. So I'm going to provide you the opportunity to earn back half of your missed exam credit for one, okay? And you have to follow these rules. So there's going to be page number 1 of the redo. It's going to be a nice piece of notebook paper. Please don't use the fringy stuff. Nice, if it is fringy, tear the fringe off, right? The stuff for the spiral bound. All you're going to do on that first page is you're going to put your name, your full name. Mine's that. You're going to give your ID number. That's my ID number. And you're going to sign it. Whatever your signature is. Your signature indicates that you are agreeing not to photocopy, photograph, or otherwise share the exam, and that you will return the exam to me. So I'm going to give you your entire exam back. You're going to take it home. You're going to work on it, okay? But you're promising not to share. You will not work with other people on this exam redo outside of this class today, okay? Page 2, so that's what I expect to see on page 1. Page 2, which will be your zip grade form, so you'll put your zip grade form on there. I sent that to you by email. You will normally not get these back by email. The reason I did this is obviously Tuesday's Mardi Gras. So I want you to be able to do this in a reasonable time period. So I sent them to you by email because most things go back to you by your lab, and you won't have lab on Tuesday or Monday, right? So whatever the day's labs are, okay? That'll be the second page. Then you're going to start reworking each of your missed problems. So if you missed 5 problems, there will be 5 separate sheets of paper for these problems. You will rework each missed problem on its own page. And by that I mean its own sheet. There will be nothing on the back of any of these pages. So if you missed problem 1, this will be problem 1. And it will take pretty much so the whole sheet of paper for you to do everything that I need you to do. Okay? Again, do not use the back of the sheet. If you're concerned about the trees, I'm sorry. This is part of it. Okay? You will rewrite the question at the top of the page, including all drawings, diagrams, structures, schemes, whatever. So, problem number 1. Well, let's do problem number 1. So problem number 1, you will copy that and the answers. You will write everything down that was given to you. You will handwrite that down. You all might think this is a waste of time, but there is something about writing and reading together that makes things connect better. It's a proven fact. I don't know why. I'm not a metacognition expert. I'm not a psychologist. But it's true. Learning theory tells us that handwriting and seeing and reading, even sometimes verbalizing, doing multiple things helps things stick. Okay? That's why I'm making you do it. It's not just busy work. Okay? You will show your work, whatever you have to do, and you will answer the question correctly. I don't give partial credit for this. You have to get the right answer. Okay? So you have to come up with the right answer. That's going to take about that much of your page, right? So what's the rest of the page for? Okay, you're going to tell me then, below all of that, you're going to provide the page numbers from the textbook where the topic of the question was covered, and or provide the date the material was presented in class. So if I presented something like on the first day that wasn't in the book, you tell me where that material was covered. Okay? So, let's say there's a problem that was covered on pages 35 and 36. You write pages 35 and 36 of the book. Okay? You're going to tell me where it is in the book or in the slides. Then you're going to write a brief paragraph at the bottom of the page describing the difficulty or confusion you had in deriving the correct answer when you took the exam. This is there to make you think about your thinking. What was it about this problem that caused me an issue? Did I not know where to start numbering in the naming of this structure? Was I having trouble identifying the parent chain? Was I, whatever the case may be. This part requires you to start thinking about your thinking. It's called metacognition. Okay, it's an important part of the learning process. What you should know about organic chemistry and many other upper level courses that you get to, it's not about regurgitating facts. It's about applying those facts to derive real solutions or real answers. Okay? So, what is a paragraph? A paragraph is more than one sentence. I am not expecting it to be 250 words or anything like that, but it is a conversation with yourself about what your difficulty was. Do not sit there and say, well, I better keep writing so that Dr. Masterson is happy. You need to write to yourself. It's like writing in your diary. What is it about this topic that's causing me trouble? Where am I sitting there? Okay, I get the first part, but then I'm having trouble with the substituents. Or I'm having trouble understanding the chair confirmation, or whatever the case may be for you. You're gonna write that out. Okay? You will then go back up to 3A, and you will do that for all of your missed problems. You will do 3A, 3B, 3C, and 3D for each and every one of your missed problems. So you will have, again, if you've missed, let's just say you missed 2 problems, right? You will have 2 sheets. And you will write out the question, you will write out the answer choices, You will provide the page numbers, and you will write a paragraph. That's going to take a good chunk of the page. Okay? All right. So you've done that for all of your missed problems. Then you're going to write on a separate page at the end. This is going to be at the end of what you turn in. You will write a one-page reflection on your study skills. You're going to self-reflect on what you did to study and prepare for this exam. Be honest with yourself. There is no points associated for that particular question for your missed credit. Okay? So, be honest with yourself. I'm not going to judge you. Okay? You all are coming into this class at different places. You all have different things outside of class that are impacting your life. But you need to have a self-reflection on this. Okay? You're going to reflect on your study skills, the time amount that you spent, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? And then you're going to talk about how you're going to do better moving forward for the next exam. You're going to identify what was it that got in the way of my preparing for exam 1. And now what can I do to fix that for exam 2 and beyond? Okay? Be realistic. Okay, I had somebody one time write that they were going to spend 40 hours on this class. That's not even realistic. Okay, I don't expect that, right? So do not write this from the point of view of what do I want to hear. This is you telling yourself what you're going to do. Okay? It's you holding yourself accountable for your learning. Okay? So I know you can't devote, you've got other classes, you've got other things going on. I know that, right? So this is a self-reflection, telling yourself what you're going to do moving forward. Okay? This is an important part of the learning process. Again, thinking about one's thinking is not a waste of time. So you'll receive half credit for the corrected questions if all of the above are strictly followed. You will not receive credit for incorrect reworked questions. You will also not receive credit if you miss doing any of this stuff. Okay? What will you get back from me in return? You will get half your credit, and I will make comments on your self-reflections. Okay? I might, some of it might be pretty short. Some of it might be, well, you might want to think about X, Y, or Z, right? So it'll be kind of personalized to each one of you. So I'm going to be spending quite a bit of time going back over all this again, right? So I've got a stake in this as well. Okay, so, and then I, of course, expect you to review that feedback and then see me if you need any clarification or any other tips. There is no magic bullet to any subject, right? You have to find what works for you. I can sit up here and tell you what works for me, and it won't work for you. Your situations are different. But the fact of the matter is, the one thing that I know works very well is this process, okay? And so you're going to get your stuff back today. You'll work on it. You'll work on it next week. And then it is due to me at the end of class next Thursday. So at the end of class next Thursday, when we finish chapter 5, you will turn this in, okay? You will turn everything in. You will turn in the exam. You'll take page 1, all of your pages, and the final thing. You'll put them together. You'll staple them together or paper clip them, whatever works for you, and you will turn that in. Are there any questions about any of this? Yeah.
I'm kind of curious. For the sake of spacing, if we run out of room on, say, one particular page or a particular problem, would you allow a separate page as a continuation of that problem?
Yeah, that usually isn't an issue, but if it does become an issue for you, just say on that page, continued on next page, and then start another page.
All right.
That'll work. Just don't use the backs.
When you want us to cite the PowerPoint for the answers to the problems, do you want us to just cite PowerPoint chapter 3 day this, or do you want a specific slide number?
You don't have to give me the specific slide number, but you could say the date that the topic was covered on the slides. You can do that. That'll work. Any other questions? Yes.
One-page reflection. Do you want that typed or handwritten?
Handwritten. Handwritten. It is you in kind of a semi-intimate situation with yourself, thinking about you know, and we typically don't do that like this, right? We typically write out things, little notes to ourselves or whatever, right? So that's what you're doing. You're having a conversation with yourself about what you need to do to improve moving forward. Okay? Is this clear to everybody? Okay. So I will call out your name. You can raise your hand and I'll give you your exam back. And you are currently still operating under the honor pledge, right? So Cassidy Boston. Jose? Richard? Gabriel? Abigail? Ethan? Jayla? Madison? Oh. Madeline? We'll get a workout this morning.
It's probably for running from the rain later.
Yeah, probably. Victoria? Desiree? Desiree Martin? Devin? Rose? Olivia? Isabella? Rachel? Jalen? Jalen Keys? Gasper? Oh. How do you pronounce your first name? Aracinda? Nicole? Baron? Jacob? Kelly? Kelly Smith? Ebony? Caitlin? And I think I'm back to start.
So is this like an individual thing, or are you able to like combine the takeaways?
Right now, for this period, while you're in this classroom, you all can work on these together. Okay? I'm fine with that. Once you leave the class, it's on your own. So you have the opportunity to work today. You have the rest of the time until Thursday morning to get it to me, okay? So go ahead and get page 1 done while I'm here. So page 1, remember, print your name, put your ID number, and sign. Page 2 will be your zip grade form, which I sent you by email, so you'll need to print that out. So for those students who have missed today, just recording this, you can come by and pick up your exam anytime today or tomorrow and continue working on that over the weekend, but you won't have access to your classmates because it will be outside of class. So I will stop the recording here and we will work till about 10:30, and then I'll dismiss you all a little bit early today. You'll have time to go.